Well, hello everybody and welcome to this tutorial. This tutorial will cover how to use Toon Boom Harmony for your animations. It's meant to be for beginners and we'll be actually animating something today. So when you open Toon Boom Harmony, this is the first control panel that you will see. On the right hand side you will have all of these different movies that you've been working on in the past. And on the left hand side you can create a new project, and that's what we'll do. We will do a simple line animation today, so we will call our project name line and we'll click create. When the program opens, this is how it looks like. In the center here you have a screen where you're gonna be doing a lot of drawing. This is actually the camera, this rectangle, so whatever is in here will actually be what will be exported in your movie. It will show up. Whatever is outside of this will not show up in a movie. You have an option of moving the camera around, and we'll cover that in a later tutorial. On the left hand side you have a variety of different tools. For those of you that are familiar with some illustration programs, this might look familiar. Today we'll be using the pencil tool and the paint fill tool. So let's put it on a pencil. Down beneath, you have on the left hand side here, you have your layers. These are layers that can create your drawing. Think of them as transparent layers or as tracing paper layers. Very important for animation, because in animation we want to have a background layer, a static layer, and the foreground layer that it's moving. Right now, there's nothing in this layer. If I was to export this movie, it would be completely blank. So we eventually want to create a background layer, and then we'll get one more layer. The way you get a layer is by clicking plus and selecting drawings, and we'll call this one the foreground layer. Now in the background layer we'll have something that it's always the same, like a white background. It should be opaque, the background, in color. So we're going to select pencil. We're going to draw something larger than the screen, and then we're going to fill it in with the opaque white. So colors have transparencies. If you double click on colors, which are right here for you, you can change transparencies. Transparencies are alpha. This is where you change transparency of colors, and we want it to be opaque because it's our background layer. But let's go back to our drawing. And now we want to draw something in a foreground layer. Like we're going to animate a line, so we're just going to make a mark. Well, let's change back to black. Let's make sure that we're in a foreground layer, and we're going to make a mark like this, and we'll animate this mark throughout the screen. So let's go to this section. These are your frames that come one after another, and that's what is being recorded, and that's how animations happen. Right now, notice these two frames right here. This is where we did the background, and this is where we did the foreground. But after this, there's no more frames, and if I move this back and forth, I'm not accessing any more frames. So what we want to do with the background is we would like to extend the background through these frames, so then we can keep drawing on each one of the frames. In order to do that, you can click how far you want the background to be extended, and our movie will be only 60 frames long with 24 frames per second, so it will be only a couple of seconds long. So you click on the 60, and then you click on F or F5, which is a shortcut, and it will extend your exposure for the background. So now when I'm making my frames, if I start drawing my line, now I'm on this frame, and if I click G, it takes me to the next frame. As well, I can do it with my mouse, but G is a shortcut. It's good to learn these shortcuts because it makes your life easier in a Toon Boom Harmony. So if I type G, I can go to the next, and then FG. FG makes me move back and forth, which is kind of like flipping, what the animators do when they draw on those cells. They flip. So you can do it through F and G. And then I go to the next one. I can make my next line. So notice now I have this movement of marks through all of these. Now, another cool, important thing for animators is to know how your previous mark looked like in order to create smoother animations. What the Toon Boom Harmony has that's really cool. If you go to view, you can open onion skin. And if you show onion skin, the onion skin is going to show you the layers that have been before. So for example, I can see the two previous frames. So these are my frames. This is the drawing from this frame, and it's showing me the two previous ones in red. And as well, it can show me the two next ones in green. So when I'm animating, if I need to go back to certain frames and make them move smoother, make my drawing better from one to the next, I can work with that. But let's keep on going with this animation. Let's get this line to move through our paper. So I'm drawing each mark really quickly, you know. This animation will not take us that long. I'm just clicking G on my typer, and then going. And then we'll export this animation and see how it looks like. And hopefully this will get you started. You don't have to just do a mark. And now when we arrived at the 60 where our stop is, this red thing stopped it. If I keep clicking G, it went right back to number 1. So now we're going to turn off the onion skin. We're going to look at this level. You can click play and see it as well, how it's going to look like in here. You can click play again. But let's export it as a movie. So we go to File, we go to Export, we go Movie, and now we have here an option of output, where we want it to be exported. You can click Browse and put it on your desktop or wherever you wish. Down beneath, it asks us which frame we want to export, and we want 1 to 60, all of the frames here. So it will export everything in here. And that's about it. Notice another thing is that it exports it as a MOV format, MOV format, which you're going to need QuickTime Player in order to play that, or you're going to need some type of an adapter in order to change it to another format. So we click OK. I already exported one before, so I will overwrite on top of that one. And now we can open, go to Toon Boom Projects, where I saved it, look for my drawing line. There it is. Open with QuickTime Player, because the other players will not play this. And now I have this animation that we made really quickly. I hope that you found this tutorial helpful, and I will see you next time.